So let's talk about hair loss. The reason we are bringing this up, this is quite exciting because CM Regen with your pharma company is launching a hair loss product that I know you've been working on for many, many, many years.
Yes.
So obviously the hair loss topic has become huge within our clinic. It has been huge in our clinic for a long time, but now it's even bigger because of the hair loss product that you are launching.
Yep.
What are the main reasons that people lose hair?
Okay, the first thing I will say from the outset is treating hair loss is a medical thing.
Absolutely.
If that's the way.
Yeah.
The reason why I say that, and this is interesting that I say that, because last night when I went to the bathroom just before I went to sleep, jumped onto Instagram, and there's this huge advert that's going around Dubai at the moment where this guy, picture this guy's walking around the street and he's asking everybody about their hair loss. And what they're selling is this Ayurvedic hair oil. I think you've seen it as well. And this is blown up completely. And this is not based on any clinical studies. It's not based on anything which is medical. It's based on someone in some village or somewhere has used a hair loss product and invented an oil, and it's worked, and now they're selling it. Okay. I'm going to debunk that and say that doesn't work from the outset. In my experience, and the reason why I'm launching a hair loss product is because I've had experience working in the UK with a hair loss clinic, and I've studied hair loss in general, and I know most of what there is about hair loss. Androgenetic alopecia, which is the medical term for female or male pattern baldness, is not a medical condition. It's a genetic characteristic. Okay, what this means is this. If someone in your family had hair loss on either side, at some point, it's a genetic characteristic that can be passed down to you. Like your blue eyes, and my black hair. That can happen. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you because people see it as a medical ill condition. Yeah, there are factors that can affect it, like stress, like when you've had a baby or when you've reached your menopause, that can cause the hair to thin, but it's not a problem. The way we deal with that medically is there are a certain number of medications that we can use, which have been shown and approved to bring hair back that's already existing, thicken up the hair, and to prevent hair loss from happening. You've got another type of condition which can happen, which is a completely separate thing, which is more autoimmune. You've seen alopecia, when people have this alopecia areata, they call it. You know when somebody's got like 50% missing part of their head?
We've had loads of clients come in with alopecia.
Right, they've got it on their beard, they've got it on their hair, it exists anywhere. That's slightly different. That's not to do with genetics. That's more to do with that being autoimmune, i.e. the body's fighting itself and it's caused that area to become... And that can be for a number of reasons. It could be stress related. It can be chemically related, as in somebody's taken a medication and it's caused that and it's caused put the body under stress. It can be a number of things. In my personal experience, when somebody's had an illness or a condition, that's become the secondary factor to causing alopecia areata. Right? Or if somebody's been super stressed, I've had it. And I had it when I went through a very stressful episode. I had one that appeared here and then one that appeared slightly there.
So it can correct itself.
Yeah, but when it's going to correct itself, you don't know.
Can it correct itself without the hair treatment?
Yes, but it just takes a bit longer. It's like, can a headache be treated without paracetamol? Yes, it can, but it just takes a bit longer. If you take if you take the paracetamol, it goes away slightly faster. So those are the two types of hair loss that you have. Is that the question that you just asked me? Yeah. So is it medical? Yes. Can it be treated medically? It can only be treated medically.
So what about all the hair loss that's happening at the moment with all the weight loss drugs? Because that's one of the major problems right now with weight loss drugs is all the hair loss. What's the reason for that?
Okay, easiest way for me to explain this is this. Every single person on earth goes through something called a hair cycle. Yeah. Have you ever woken up in the morning and you found some hair either being shed on your pillow or on your...
I wouldn't know, I have hair extensions in.
Okay. I wake up in the morning and I find that other than my hair slightly thinning because I'm getting old, and again it's a genetic characteristic, comes from my dad. Most men in my family are bald as an eagle, and it's just a genetic characteristic which is passed down. So your hair goes through a cycle every single month. What happens is the hair follicles thicken and then they thin down and then that falls out and then it's replaced by another hair. It's like the skin, it's always replenished all the time. There's a stage of that during the hair cycle called the telogen phase. Okay, in the telogen phase, what happens is there's a cycle which happens within that called telogen effluvium, or it's a term coined for regrowth or a cycle of hair.
So we all know that with weight loss drugs, they cause so many different things to happen within the body. Obviously the weight loss happens, but there are hundreds of other things that happen in the body that are unwanted effects from weight loss drugs. You can't expect to get all this great weight loss happening and other things are not going to happen. So one of the other things we've noticed a lot with our clients that come into the clinic are hair loss. And the hair loss is happening because the weight loss drugs are causing the body to throw essential nutrients, anything that's left after the weight loss drugs, because people aren't eating properly, they're not taking the right vitamins and supplements, anything that's left that the body has, it's putting it to the essential organs. It has to, otherwise, something could happen to you that is really bad. And then what's happening is it's leaving the hair, because the hair is not essential. Your hair is not survival. Your heart, your kidneys, your liver, these are survival. Your hair is not survival. So therefore, we start to see hair loss. And hair loss is happening more and more and more and more. And the more people we have on these weight loss drugs for a really long period of time are suffering from hair loss.
Yes, because what the weight loss drugs do is they prioritize, as you said, they prioritize your essential organs and your tissue, and they see hair loss or hair as being a secondary factor here. We don't need to save that in order for you to survive and be healthy.
Yeah.
And because of the way they function. And if you imagine your body is now deprived of all of those nutrients because you're not having food, then hair comes secondary to everything else as well.
So what can we do about that? Because that's one of the main things I think that we're seeing at the moment. Because obviously at the moment, the big talk around town is all the weight loss products, etc. So the big talk around town is the hair loss from the weight loss products. If we just look at that for a second, what can be done about that?
Just hair loss on its own?
Yeah.
Well, look, you're not going to be able to stop someone from taking a drug which is going to make them lose weight, because that for them is priority, right? So the other side that I say to it is, this is where it opens up the whole avenue of hair loss medications.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if your question is, what can they take and what do those look like?
Yeah.
I mean, there are already multiple drugs on the market which can be given in combinations. Regain, for example, is a drug which is available and has been available for many decades, and it's on in most countries, which contains the basic minoxidil strengths of either 4% for women or 5% for men, and that helps with increasing blood flow to the scalp, and that basically makes the hair grow back.
So that was the first big player.
That was the first big player.
Yeah.
In addition to Propecia 1 milligram tablets, which is given to men, and that that's a main DHT blocker, as in DHT being the hormone. Do you remember I said to you about male and female pattern baldness?
Yeah.
DHT is a hormone which basically attacks the hair follicles and causes the follicles to become weakened, and then they eventually fall out. By taking finasteride tablets, it does the opposite. It blocks that process from happening. However, one of the main side effects, or some of the side effects of that drug, is that it can cause erectile problems, and it can also cause mood and psychological problems.
But it grows your hair.
Your hair grows back, but you lose
hair grows back, but you lose
control of your penis, and you lose all control of your mind.
Yeah.
For some people, it happens in I think the stats are 1 or 2%. It happens. Have I ever seen men that have ever had this side effect? Lots and lots and lots.
So okay, I've got something interesting to look at then. So when you have, let's say, menopause and andropause as well for men.
Yes.
Because yes, men go through a menopause as well. It's a major thing here. So when you have andropause and menopause, what are the main reasons then that the hair is falling out? I know the answer to this, but I'm obviously putting it out there for you to say. The reason for that, and also, can these same hair loss products be used in that circumstance as well?
I would be, look, throughout this whole thing, what you're really talking about in terms of changes here is you're talking about a key word here, which is hormones, okay?
Yeah.
Your hormones change.
Yeah.
You're talking about age, and you're talking about your hormones changing.
Yeah.
The menopause is basically a shift in your hormones.
Yeah.
Andropause is a shift in your hormones. And what we're really talking about here is estrogen and testosterone.
Yeah.
So the key thing that I would do is, firstly, I'd say, yes, they can be used, but as a precursor to those, we need to test your bloods and test your hormones.
You beat me to it.
Have I just completely answered your question? I can pretend like I don't know.
No,
but yeah.
So what I was going to say is that all these different things, all these products that we hear about, especially products on the market at the moment, they treat things topically. They treat things topically all the time.
Yes.
And the problem is, even if you're going to give you a pill, the finasteride that you said that causes, can cause erectile problems, etc.
Yeah.
But these are all pills for hair loss. They are for hair loss. But what about the fact that we look at somebody's blood work and we see exactly where the imbalances are, where the hormone imbalances are, what is going on? Because if we can treat that first of all, then surely we can help with hair growth from the inside rather than just treating the problem from the outside. I understand it has to be treated from the outside as well. We have to reignite these hair follicles, etc. But if you've got somebody, for example, that is taking weight loss drugs, let's look at the first thing, the weight loss drugs. If they're taking weight loss drugs and their nutrients are already so low, we know the reason for the hair loss here is because all the nutrients are so low, so the body is taking everything it can to survive, to our essentials.
Yeah.
Surely, if we take that person, we run good enough blood tests on them, we run hair strand tests on them, we see exactly what's missing, and we completely up all of those vitamins and minerals their body is fighting so hard right now to hold on to, the hair loss should slow down completely. And that's one thing that's not given to people when they're on all these weight loss drugs. It's not like, okay, fine, you're going to take this weight loss, but you need to take all of these vitamins and supplements first because we've run your bloods and we've seen what you're missing out on right now. Then the hair loss wouldn't happen to begin with.
Correct. I absolutely spot on. If you go maybe a decade back or 2 decades back, the difference between modern science, pre-science and modern science at the moment is information and making things more bespoke.
Yeah.
Okay. When I worked in the hair loss industry many years ago, what you had was somebody came in and they were on a conveyor belt. We used to give the same thing to everybody all the time. And there was not much difference between John and maybe the next person that came in, and the same thing with women as well. The difference between that and modern science now is we can do blood tests. I can know exactly what's wrong with you, exactly what you're deficient in. I mean, this is what our company's based on, is knowing what's missing from your body and what's causing it. So we're kind of looking at everything as a murder mystery and as a whole, and trying to get to the bottom of what's caused that thing in the first place. And the same thing goes with hair. We're not just saying this product can be given for hair, and that's what makes our product unique. What we're doing really is we're delving slightly deeper, and we're saying, let's take a blood test, or let's take a tricho test. Let's have a look at what it is that that person's deficient in, what could have possibly caused this, and making a formulation which is bespoke to them in order to treat hair loss. And you're 99 to 110% more likely to succeed in that way, as opposed to the conveyor belt technique.
Whilst looking after somebody from the inside as well.
Yeah, so what you're talking about in terms of semaglutide and all these other things that people are taking very blindly, yes, you need to look at the bloods. I mean, with us, we would never in a million years treat somebody for a medication without looking for their bloods. I mean, if you walked into your GP surgery and the doctor said to you without taking a blood test that you've got high cholesterol, here's a statin, that's wild to do that, because
but it happens all the time.
You do a blood test, you check the cholesterol, the HDL versus LDL levels, and then based on those levels, if you're out of range, then you prescribe a statin. Everything is evidence-based. And we do the same thing when there's no difference between that and this, which is whether we do that for hair, whether we do that for bloods, whether we do that for hormones, whether we do that for someone elderly, whether we do that for someone who's young. It's exactly the same principle.
I think the most important thing is hair loss can be reversed. Given the, unless you've got severe, baldness, hair loss can be reversed. And we've had somebody that had severe alopecia, and we have worked really hard on that person in the past, and she grew back her hair, and that was our most severe hair loss case study, I want to call it, because I wasn't sure what would happen, to be honest with you, when the hair loss was that much. So we have seen so many amazing results, and it's like with PRP, for example. Everyone looks at PRP and they think, oh no, PRP is not going to work. It's not going to work. Oh look, I'm a month on, it hasn't done anything. PRP is the slow burner. PRP creeps up on you. You wake up one day and you think, oh wow, it's worked. And I have seen that again and again and again and again with our clients that have been with us a long term. One of our clients a year later said, oh my God, look, all my hair's growing back. That was all PRP. There was nothing else given to her apart from PRP and PPP. There was nothing else given to her.
Because unfortunately, we live in a society and everything now is based on instant gratification. So if they see the results of it immediately, then they're happy with that. I'm going to debunk one myth, if you don't mind me saying so. Right? And the reason why I know this, because I come from a background of hair. Even when it comes to surgery and somebody wants to have a hair transplant done, we can still cater for them in terms of our hair loss medications that we have. The reason why I say that to you, remember at the beginning I said to you that hair loss isn't a medical condition, it's a genetic characteristic. So even if you take hair from the back and you put it on the front, which is what the process of hair transplant is, eventually the DHTs, you're gonna start to thin anyway. So we can treat that, and that's the reason why we treat hair transplant clients too. So that's another side to it.